Thanks for watching CBS 8 Plus and welcome to this Throwback Special. I'm Marcella Lee. With 75 years of broadcasting, we have been able to share so many memorable moments that matter to our San Diego community and beyond. In this Throwback Special, we're looking at San Diego housing prices in the 1970s. These days, the median price of a home here in San Diego County is close to $1 million, but it wasn't always that way. San Diego's real estate market has seen some ups and downs. In 1972, homes cost less than the average new car does these days. But in just a few short years, prices had more than doubled. The big problem in 1977 was a familiar one, as Jesse Macias found, a shortage of available homes and apartments.
5 years ago, the average cost of a new home in San Diego was $30,000. But by next year, the average cost will be $75,000. And even with all the new construction going on, housing experts agree that more and more people are being priced right out of the housing market. Housing analyst Alan Nevin says they're being priced out because the value of land the homes are on is increasing at nearly 25% a year, and personal income just isn't keeping pace. So next year, home buyers will have to pay between $80,000 and $100,000 for an average single-family home.
The difference between this year and next is that the single-family homes, the traditional home with a yard, is going to be in short supply in the under $80,000 or $90,000 range. Our clients are finding that it's extremely difficult, especially north of Highway 8, to build a home for under $80,000.
How difficult will it be then for people to buy a home, let's say, in the North County?
Extremely difficult. With the exception of a couple of tracts in Mira Mesa, virtually all North County housing will really be for persons who earn $30,000 a year and up.
Nevin says the rental situation in San Diego, which is already bad, will be critical next year simply because no one is building rental apartments. From Rancho Penasquitos, this is Jesse Macias reporting for TV8 News.
In that same year, a home with a view in Mission Hills became available, which required a specific type of buyer who was willing to pay a premium price, as Gene Gleason found.
You've probably already seen it. Paul's place is the many-sided wood house that sits so precariously on the hill above Interstate 8. Tens of thousands of motorists drive by it every day. And to Paul, it must seem that at least half of them have stopped by to look around. Now, that's perfectly all right because the house is for sale. 3 bedrooms, 5 balconies, on 6 levels, and a price tag of $227,000. Paul designed and built it to sell, and so far he's not bothered that the right person hasn't come along yet. You know, the one with the money.
The house was very much a unique house, and we knew that from the start. So that's partly why we've moved in. We know it's going to take a unique client to purchase the residence, and we're just here till that happens.
What do people say when they come in after they've seen it from the freeway and they walk in here and start walking around?
I think most people are very surprised because the interior of the house is quite different. It's very light and airy, where the exterior is very dull or dark in color.
Do you think from their reactions that they feel it's sort of a curiosity item?
Oh, I think some do. I think some are very excited about it and wish that they could afford it, just like I wish I could.
Every Sunday, Paul's realtor drops a big sign over the edge of one of the balconies, and almost instantly, dozens of people materialize to walk through, look at, touch, and for the most part, walk out again. It's an interesting parade through a very unique house.
We had probably 50 calls a day from the banner in the office itself. And qualifying people prior to bringing them down stopped a lot of them.
Just told them the price.
That's right.
Did you just go through the house?
Yes, we did.
What do you think of it?
I think it's beautiful.
It's a work of art, really.
What drew you to this house? Did you see it from the freeway?
Oh, yeah, we've seen it many times. And then it was an open house, so we just want to take a look at it.
Can you afford it?
Oh, no. No. But it's a beautiful place.
Sounds familiar. In the summer of 1978, our Dave Cohen went house hunting. The average price in San Diego was significantly higher than the rest of the country. And another repeating trend, personal income not keeping up with the market. How to solve the problem? Dave got some help from real estate agents.
There are more than 100 new home developments in San Diego County. There also are about 10,000 resale homes on the market, with 600 to 700 new listings each week. That can make shopping for a house kind of like finding the proverbial needle in a haystack. Price poses yet another problem. The average cost of a resale home here is more than $73,000, $22,000 higher than the national average. Only 3 other communities in the country are higher. Adding to the problem, over the past 5 years, home costs have risen more than twice as fast as personal income. With those figures in mind, we went to Jay Metz, a former naval officer who, despite less than 10 years in the business, has become extremely successful in local real estate. Affiliated with Century 21, Metz agreed to serve as our expert in this series. It should be pointed out that his assessments and philosophies may not be shared by all realtors.
There are 3 basic ways to shop for a home, and I would say the best way is to contact your local real estate broker, because there is such a varied array of homes throughout the county or in the city. You need some professional expertise to help you locate what you're looking for, and once you find it, to help you decide how to put all the details together. On the weekends, drive around and look at open houses. There are always a lot of houses open in all neighborhoods on Sundays and in some cases Saturdays, and they're open for your inspection, and there's an agent there to show you through the home, and you can look at your leisure. Of course, another way would be to read the classified ads and go look at listed homes with real estate brokers or for sale by owners.
Obviously, before you begin to look for a house, you have to know what you can afford. The basic rule of thumb, you could have trouble buying if the price of the home is more than 4 times your income. Other considerations are the neighborhood, distance to work, location of schools, and any special family requirements. If you need a drier climate for health reasons, for instance, the beach area isn't for you.
We have this home buyer's kit, which we find very useful. And, you know, one of the first things we mentioned before is finances. There are 21 ways to finance a home, and there are basically 3 ways. There's the GI Bill, and most everybody's familiar with it. Most of us are veterans, and a lot of the ladies are veterans, too. And then there's the FHA loans, and then there are conventional loans. And unless you are knowledgeable in the financial field, you need to talk to a salesman to find out, what kind of loan can I get? What am I eligible for? We make all the arrangements for the buyer. We bring the lender to you, usually, or take you to the lender. Point out the things that you need to do. Walk you right through the whole escrow. Usually bring all the papers to you. You don't have to seek out the bank or the escrow. Help you fill out the papers. Help you arrange the loan. And even when it's about ready to close, we give you advice and tell you who to call to turn on the electricity and the gas and remind you about the telephone and all sorts of little incidentals that you tend to forget in the excitement of buying a home.
In San Diego today, depending on the type of financing you qualify for, you can expect an interest rate generally between 9.5% and 10.5%. On conventional loans, the more you have for a down payment, the lower your interest rate will be. The Cal Vet program, for cases where the price of the house does not exceed $53,000 and where the buyer was a California resident when he entered the service, the current interest rate is 5.6%. But the state has no Cal Vet money available at this time. Tomorrow, part 2 of our journal on home buying in San Diego, a look at general price ranges throughout the county.
Your best dollar value is going to be away from the beaches and away from the center city.
Jay Metz, affiliated with Century 21 and our expert for this series, says you can find homes which are considered steals or real bargains. But these houses, generally referred to as fixer-uppers, are relatively few and far between. In most areas, neighborhood pride has forced owners to keep their homes well maintained.
The average price in the San Diego Board of Realtors as of June is $74,000. And of course, the most popular home is still a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car attached garage. And they'll average around 12 to 1,400 square feet in that 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. La Jolla, forget it. There's nothing in La Jolla for under 125, and I think I could safely say under 150,000. Scripps Ranch, which is just adjacent to us here, the average price home in Scripps Ranch is $90,000 to $100,000. Mira Mesa, there are some homes in Mira Mesa for $55,000 on up to over $100,000. Well, after Mira Mesa, just going a little bit north is an area called Penasquitos, and there's a lot of new developments up there. It's a relatively new community, and the homes up there, the single-family homes will probably average around $75,000 and a little bit higher. Then we go on down south, we get into the South Bay area of Chula Vista, and of course Imperial Beach, Coronado. Forget Coronado, it's very expensive. It's a beautiful area, but it's very, very expensive over there. I have no idea what the average price is in Coronado. That's out of my neighborhood. Of course, Imperial Beach, I think in Imperial Beach, it would pretty closely resemble San Diego's average price, somewhere around $70,000, $75,000. Chula Vista, there are a lot of good buys in Chula Vista area. There's a lot of nice areas down here, and the average price in Chula Vista is a little less than in San Diego. I don't have the statistics, but I would say in the Chula Vista National City area, the price average would probably be about $60,000, $65,000.
Those are just some of the general price ranges around San Diego. They're not hard and fast. You might be able to find a few homes for less than the average quoted by Mets. Again, though, in basic terms, you'll find better dollar value the farther inland you go and away from the center city. If single-family home prices are preventing you from buying, you might want to consider a condominium or a townhouse. We'll explore the pros and cons of that option in our final report tomorrow. The average price of a single-family home in San Diego is $73,300. That's fourth highest in the nation, behind San Francisco, Oakland, Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Washington, D.C. Many people simply can't afford to buy a home here, but they might be able to afford a condominium or a townhouse.
There are a lot of condominiums in the San Diego area, and they're becoming more and more popular each and every day. There's a big demand for them, and they're developing quite a few.
Jay Metz, head of his own Century 21 affiliated realty firm and our expert in this series, adds there are distinct advantages to buying a condo over a single-family home. Because you're not paying for the land, prices generally are lower, and you get more square footage for the dollar. Because of the recreational facilities associated with most condominium or townhouse complexes, and the fact that outdoor maintenance is provided, sometimes for a small fee, you'll usually find more time to pursue other interests. But you'll have less privacy than in a single-family home, and there's less appreciation of your investment, although Metz notes that could change as more condos are built. Along similar lines are the relatively new planned unit developments or planned residential developments, which include some single-family units.
In the PUD or PRD, you have a single-family home on your own parcel of land, and then you own that, fee simple. And then we have a common interest in the green belt, or there may be staples or recreational facilities, for the PUD that you have a common interest or an undivided ownership in.
San Diego's housing market has seen little impact so far from Proposition 13, but Metz does foresee less intercity movement because of Jarvis Gann. If you sell your present house to buy another, that home will face a property tax reassessment, meaning higher taxes than the current owner is paying.
In the past, we've had a lot of movement within the city, young couples having babies and the families expanding. They need larger quarters or moving out of apartments into their first home. And on the other end of the spectrum, we've had couples whose children are out of school and flown the coop, so to speak, and they decide that they want to move into a condominium or a townhouse and play more golf and have more leisure time. Those people are going to think twice now, because sure, they may want to sell their house, but if they start looking at the tax structure change, I think they'll take a good hard look before they make a leap.
Do you see an end to the incredible appreciation of home values in the very near future?
I wish I could say yes, Dave, but I don't, because the basic law of economics, supply and demand, and we just have so much land. There's just so much, we can't increase that, and the demand is there, so the price of land will continue to go up. And labor costs continue to rise along with other inflationary trends. Materials continue to go up in value. No, unfortunately, no, I don't see any decrease. I would love to see it level off, where the appreciation would stay between 5 and 10% a year instead of hitting up in 15 to 25 or 30% a year. That's ridiculous.
Obviously, this series has touched only on some of the key points of buying a house in San Diego. If you have any questions about what's available, whether you can afford to buy, and where, contact a realtor. He or she can help you, even if you're only casually shopping at this time. And, given home prices these days, the cost of this service is a real bargain. It's free. Dave Cohen, News 8.
Oh, how things have changed. Well, and some not so much. In July of 1979, lots at the top of La Jolla Mesa were going for $300,000 for a third of an acre to almost a full acre with world-class views. Janet Zappala couldn't believe the price. She thought it was crazy at that time that you could pay that much for a piece of property that didn't even have a home on it.
If money's no object, or even if it is, these lots selling for more than $300,000 in La Jolla Mesa may interest you. They have others. So far, 5 out of 13 have been sold, and they only came on the market 6 months ago. But when you stop to think about their size, ranging from a third of an acre to over an acre, and their location, high atop La Jolla Mesa Drive, with what many consider to be the most beautiful view in California, then it's not hard to understand. Real estate broker Marge Seifert says people are willing to pay the price for their dream location.
They are beautifully compacted, they're large, they're suitable for estate-type homes.
But people are really paying for what, besides the dirt that their house will sit on?
They're paying for that view, and there are no more lots like this where you can capture this view. This is probably the best view in San Diego, probably the best in California.
So far, the construction of 2 homes, rather mansions, has begun. This one is 6,000 square feet. And when this home is completed, its new occupants will have 6,800 square feet to get lost in. What more could you ask for? You get a view of practically everything. San Diego skyline, Point Loma, the bay. It's really what dreams are made of. But when you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a lot like this, you'd think you get a house to go along with it. At any rate, they are selling, and judging from the inquiries that Marge Seifert is getting, about 12 a day, they should all be sold within a month or two. Janet Zappala, News 8, La Jolla Mesa.
Add a 0 or 2 to that price these days. Another topic that's big today is affordable housing, and the city of Del Mar is scrambling to come up with a plan that works for its community and meets state housing requirements. It's another case of history repeating itself, as you'll see in this story from Allison Ross in 1979.
The problem is the lack of low-cost housing. There just isn't a whole lot of it in this wealthy seaside community. Del Mar, in fact, is the only city in San Diego County without a single federally assisted lower-income housing unit. Why? Well, at least one official thinks the people wanting to live here are willing to pay more. But the statistics don't show that. According to the latest census, 1/4 of the people here earned less than $10,000 a year, a quarter of their salary being spent on rent.
I think the city of Del Mar is going to lose federal and state financing if it doesn't have some alternative housing program offered to the lower income people.
I believe that rents in Del Mar are just way too high. I would like to live here cheaper myself. But, you know, I guess it's who's looking at it. People that want to move here or people that already live here and don't want it changed.
The city has come up with a plan to make more low-income housing units available. First, limit the number of condominium conversions. Another proposal, protect the rights of existing residents by ensuring that if the person has to move, 60 days' notice is given. Third, that residents be allowed to add on to their existing units, providing the new half houses the low income.
I don't think the city will ever be able to supply the number of units to meet the demand to live along the coast. And as a result of that, the prices are being driven up. And as the prices are being driven up, the lower income units, lower income families are being driven out.
Allison Ross, News 8, Del Mar.
Much like these days, the cost of buying a home in the late 70s was a big topic in San Diego when prices were at the time the highest in the continental U.S. Janet Zappala did a 5-part series on the San Diego real estate market, covering it all from first home success stories to a fixer-upper in Hillcrest to a co-op in La Jolla. One thing she learned, a fact that still rules today, the biggest drivers of price were where the home was located and how big it was.
House hunting. Today it's a frustrating, time-consuming, and oftentimes depressing process, but hopefully in the next 5 nights we'll be able to shed some light on the subject, show you that there is some positive news for prospective home buyers here in San Diego, but it will depend on location and how big a house you want. True, San Diego is the most expensive place to buy a home in all of the continental United States, but that doesn't mean that only the affluent can buy here. There are homes, nice ones, available to the average income earner, homes considered to be affordable, like this 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Mira Mesa. It's 9 years old and beautifully kept. It's got a fireplace, private patio, along with a large backyard area, and a double-car garage. The couple that lived here had no children, so by using a little creativity, they turned the 2 remaining bedrooms into his and hers dens, handy for some privacy when desired. It's a fairly spacious home with 1,150 square feet. It's highly upgraded and is just sold for $73,000. Now, one way to buy a home like this would be to put $15,000 down, or 20%. The 30-year loan amount, $58,000, with payments averaging about $600 a month. One of the selling points of this home is the fact that it's in a nice area and centrally located.
You have fairly stable neighborhoods. The schools are close, shopping is close. You have easy access to any and all freeways to all parts of the county. In 9 years, the home has more than doubled, and the vast majority of that appreciation has occurred in the last 3 to 3.5 years.
So the people now here are taking a profit and going and investing in a more expensive home.
That's right, and that is again very typical of the average homeowner in San Diego today who has owned a home for anywhere from 2 to 6 to maybe 10 years. They have increased their equity vastly, and they are taking it out and putting it down on a home that's very often larger, maybe in a little more prestigious neighborhood, and certainly has a higher price tag.
Tomorrow night, we'll take you to a condominium complex here in Mira Mesa and see how that compares with home living. We'll also look into the multiple listings book and explain how that helps home buyers find what they're looking for.
Today, buying a home can be the best investment we make. Keeping in mind the steadily rising rate of inflation, home values have increased more than we might have expected. According to local real estate analyst Sanford Goodkin, housing values in Southern California between 75 and 77 appreciated at the rate of 3% each month. You may not be too surprised to hear then that the average price of a home in San Diego is now about $98,000. However, if you look long and hard enough, you'll find homes for much less. One way to get an idea of what's available is to leaf through a multiple listings book. Inside are hundreds of homes for sale in San Diego, ranging from the cheapest to the most expensive.
The multiple listing book is a very good tool to find out what's on the market. We have access to virtually every property listed in San Diego County. A prospective purchaser can look at a picture in here. The price, the terms, the room sizes, everything is on here.
Here's an example of what you might find in the way of condominium living. A single-story condo in Mira Mesa is selling for about $70,000. It's 5 years old and completely upgraded. It's got 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, a private patio, fireplace, and a carport. And it's fairly spacious with about 1,160 square feet. Now, to purchase a condominium like this, you could put 10% down with a 90% loan. Your payments would average about $650 a month. You could put more than 10% down, thus bringing your monthly payments down somewhat. And in addition to the condominium, there are amenities to think about.
Some of the advantages to living in a condominium complex like this is the fact that you've got lots of things to keep you busy, to entertain you, like a swimming pool and a recreation room.
As with most condominiums, there's lots of wide open space, and much of the maintenance is taken care of for you. Condominium living, an alternative lifestyle. Tomorrow, a look at a young San Diego couple buying their first home, an investment for them that continues to appreciate. In just a few months, the value of their home has gone up some $4,000. That's tomorrow as our look at affordable homes in San Diego continues.
This home in Claremont was bought by a young married couple.
prior to this, they lived in apartments for about 4 years. And they say now they realize this investment is one that will pay off.
Every month you have money in the bank. It's not like...
There's nothing like equity, right?
Yeah, it's not like, paying rent for an apartment, and when you move out, you have nothing.
The home is 17 years old, but because it's been kept up, its age is barely showing. It's got 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, a large backyard, and a 1-car garage. Total space about 1,050 square feet. It's located in a suburban neighborhood, and it's close to just about everything. 2 blocks away is a shopping center, bus service, and schools. The Nellises bought the house in March for $68,900. Both parties work, and because Aaron is a Navy personnelman, the couple was eligible for a Veterans Administration loan. And when they qualified, they were able to get a 100% loan. They put $1,400 down, and their house payments run about $650 a month. Now, a home like this has been an investment for this young couple. In just about 4 months or so, its value has jumped $4,000. Now, news like that is great for people already living in a home. But for those still looking, the process of house hunting can be frustrating. But according to San Diego real estate analyst Sanford Goodkin, the small investor has just as good a chance to buy as anybody else. Goodkin's philosophy is to start with a small amount for a down payment, then borrow the remainder. You pay off the loan with cheaper dollars because of inflation, while your property is appreciating in value. Any period of inflation, says Goodkin, is good for real estate. When is the best time to buy?
Now. Why? Because construction costs, that is labor, material, and land, going up from 15 to 20% a year. Timing is still excellent to invest in, to buy a joy. We call it a house.
Ever think about buying an older home and fixing it up? It is another alternative. Tomorrow we'll take you out to a home in Hillcrest, one that's in the process of being fixed up. And we'll show you how its buyer with a moderate income was able to buy this home and another one right behind it. The number of people buying older city houses is climbing each year. Alan Irwin, for example, bought a lot in Hillcrest with 2 homes on it, otherwise known as a duplex. He rents out the house in back of his, thereby helping him with the total monthly rent. This is another alternative to help fight the high housing costs. This home with 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, a fireplace, and a large backyard sold for $86,000 in April when Irwin bought it. Since then, he's been in the process of rehabbing his urban home, hoping his investment will one day make money for him.
As far as what I can afford is either this area or roughly the older Claremont area. And to get anything with an investable, value to it, you have to look in this sort of an area as opposed to a single dwelling home.
For what you
Yes, definitely.
So it was worth waiting and looking around for?
Yeah. I think in the long run it will be.
This home is about 50 years old. As with all older homes, there are a few things to keep in mind. The house hunter in the market for an older home should look around the neighborhood and evaluate the kinds of buildings that are being rehabbed. The quality of the stores and schools is also important. Schools can add to a home's resale value. Checking for structural damage is also a must. In this case, the owner is handy around the house and was able to fix it up himself, but it seems worth it to pay an architect or a contractor about $100 or so to check it out. Irwin says it'll take him another year to completely refurbish his home. Of course, that's one advantage to fixing up a house. You're still able to live there and enjoy in the interim. Tomorrow, in our final report, we'll take you to the cheapest house in La Jolla. Janet Zappala, News 8. In the last 4 nights, we've shown you what $69,000, $70,000 can buy here in San Diego. That usually means a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with a large backyard and a garage. But tonight we'll show you that if you want an address, if you want to live in a place like La Jolla, for example, you may be able to find a place or two selling for $69,000, $70,000. But you won't have nearly as much as you would, say, in some other part of town. When most of us think of La Jolla, we think of high housing costs, and we're not off base. But again, if we do some investigating, we'll find that there are places to live in La Jolla for less than $100,000 or $200,000. Like this co-op on La Jolla Boulevard. It's a block from the beach, stores are close by, and it's on a bus line. Some important things to consider when looking to buy. This unit is 20 years old. It has 1 bedroom and 1 bath with a living room and a dining area. And if you're looking for some relaxation and/or fresh air, a lanai is provided for all the owners of this 5-unit complex. A place to come to relax and enjoy the scenery. This unit sells for $69,000. By putting 20% down, you'd be required to come up with $13,900 in cash. Then, with the help of a bank or savings and loan company or the present owner, your payments would be about $500 a month. Also included are free laundry facilities and a 1-car garage. Water, gardening, insurance for the building, and exterior maintenance are also taken care of. So there you have it, 5 different areas and 5 different ways to go. Certainly not what most of us would consider cheap, but way below the average price of a home in San Diego. Janet Zappala, News 8.
Such a fun look back at the 70s. Thank you so much for watching this Throwback Special. To see more throwbacks like this one on CBS 8+, click on the News tab at the top of your screen. I'm Marcella Lee. We'll see you next time.